Yes, it is true. You can actually get major health benefits from walking along to just one soundtrack from your favorite playlist. Just 2 to 500 steps that could change your life.
Yes, just walking 2 minutes after a meal is enough to lower your blood sugar.
That's just one little song. Well, unless you're a Led Zeppelin fan like me.
It is also enough if you walk 2 minutes every hour to reduce your risks of dying by at least 33%. You may have heard the expression that sitting is now the new smoking. So it is important to understand how something as simple as a couple of minute walk a few times a day can actually change your life and help you to live longer and more healthy. And this is all backed by science. It's a pretty normal part of our day as a human for our blood sugar to go up and down. However, we are now understanding more and more that when our blood sugar is high, we release insulin, and insulin resistance is one of the major health problems facing our society at this time. Diabetes and pre-diabetes is on the rise, and most of us pretty much understand the importance of lowering our blood sugar and getting our insulin under control, because raised insulin levels are the culprit for so many diseases and illnesses, as well as making us feel not that good. When our blood sugar is high, insulin floods into our blood. This is not good for anyone that's pre-diabetic or with type 2 diabetes. However, keeping our blood sugar under control is something that everybody should be aiming for, because high blood sugar does send our system out of whack.
And you won't like what I say, that's for sure.
Keeping our blood sugar more consistent helps make us feel good overall and takes so much pressure off our organs. Often when we eat a sugary food or we eat high carb food, we have a sugar rush. We spike and then we crash, which one can make us feel tired and grumpy and not that nice. But two, it can also actually lead to a false sense of being hungry again, which is often why people end up snacking between meals or after dinner, which obviously leads to increased calories and even more sugar in our systems. However, luckily there are some science-backed steps that we can take in order to help our bodies steady that seesaw of sugar rushes. According to analysis and a study published in the Sports Medicine Journal in 2022, just a simple 2 to 5 minutes walk after consuming a meal is enough to result in lower blood sugar levels. Even if you're not able to actually go straight out for a walk after eating, then even standing is a better option.
Yes, honey. Washing the dishes is good for your health and well-being. I wouldn't tell you to do this if I didn't love you.
Sitting is the worst thing that you can do after a meal. When we eat, our body starts breaking down the carbs and putting them into our blood system. Walking and any other kind of exercise will help manage our insulin levels, making our bodies more efficient and helping us process those sugars. This is because our muscles use glucose to walk. So as soon as we start moving our bodies, moving our muscles and exercising, we are going to start processing those sugars and that excess glucose that is sitting around in our liver and in our bloodstream. Keeping your blood sugars low is something that everyone should be aiming for, particularly as high blood sugar can obviously lead to the chances of diabetes and high blood pressure. A study in the American Diabetes Association has suggested that half an hour walk or exercise can lower blood sugar for around 24 hours. And a high level exercise routine of 7.5 minutes can actually keep your blood sugar under control from amazingly 1 to 3 days. That's from 7.5 minutes of high level exercise. Definitely something to try to fit into your routine a couple of times a week. When you think about it, walking is like free medication, as walking lowers your blood sugar naturally. Apart from looking at our blood sugar, we should be looking at trying to walk at least 30 minutes a day. The biggest benefits can be either 3 10-minute walks, 1 30-minute walk. If you can, like myself, I try to do 45 minutes to 60 minutes in the evening, my sunset walk. However, if you're sitting down to work, you should be trying to get up at least once an hour to move for 2 minutes. As mentioned before, sitting is now being seen as one of the worst things that we can do for our bodies. If you work from home or you're in a job where you sit down all day, try to get up and move every hour, even for 1 to 2 minutes. You may not be able to do this all the time, but if you can do this 2 to 3 times a day, and then maybe take a 10-minute walk on your lunch break, and in the evenings, before dinner or just after dinner, depending on the light and the safety of your streets, you could get in anywhere from a 10 to 30-minute walk. I aim for between 8 to 10,000 steps a day. That takes the average person about an hour and 40 minutes because most people walk at a speed of around 100 steps per minute. If you walk at a brisk pace, which is pretty much, how you walk when you're running late for something, that's probably about 115 to 120 steps per minute, which means you could probably knock off your walk in about an hour and 15. The benefits of walking are amazing for your mental health, for decreasing your risks of dying, for balance, for coordination, for heart, for blood pressure. The list goes on and on and on. Personally, I find the best thing about walking is my mental health. I find my creativity goes through the roof. I can solve all my problems when I get out for a walk. Even on the days where you don't feel like walking, just set a timer on your phone or your watch and say to yourself, okay, I'm going to walk 2 minutes down the road, turn around and come back. You can commit to 4 minutes. But often you'll find that once you actually get out to start walking, that once you're out and about, you'll walk much further. I usually find things like ringing a friend, listening to a podcast. My favorite is listening to my music playlist. I have a whole playlist just dedicated to walking, which is why a song can change your life. The good news is that you don't have to be hitting your 10,000 steps every day to reap these benefits. Anything over around 6,000 is going to be good for your health, your bones, your muscles, and your mental health. You don't need to do 10,000 steps every day. That's more of something that you want to do if you want to improve your fitness and lose weight. I have a video that discusses how many steps that you need to take that you can check out. I did have a period recently where I got unwell and I had to reduce my walking from 10,000 steps down to about 5. And the changes to my body were quite surprising. That tells you all about what happened when I stopped walking. So pick your favorite song and get out there for a walk today. Walking is the best exercise on the planet.